We're going to be talking about how to get the most out of your health insurance. And today's topic, we're specifically going to be looking at medical devices. And since I do have personal experience on this myself, we're going to have me be the interview subject. I'm going to invite our project associate, Nuria Paracha. She's going to come on and conduct the interview. So Nuria, welcome.
Hello, Carl. Hi, everyone who's joining us for the live stream. So my name is Nuria Paracha. As Carl said, I'm a project associate at AAHD.
I was born with a disability, affects my limbs, which does then affect my mobility. My legs were extremely bow-legged at birth. I had multiple operations on them when I was a child, was able to walk for most of my life until I got in my early 30s, and then it really started deteriorating, and now I use a power wheelchair. I am getting up in age where I do have some medications I take, but the main thing is my mobility limitation. I've gone through physical therapy over the years to maintain my mobility somewhat. I also have taken, pain medication for that from time to time. Because of my disability, I have a rare blood condition with that does limit what kind of pain medications I can take. So that's another thing that I always have to keep in mind. But the main thing that I have used recently is going through and getting a power wheelchair. I started using a power wheelchair when I was in my early 30s. In January, I just got a new power wheelchair. The chair that I had was 8 years old, and it was showing its signs of being 8 years old. I had to have basically a retrofitted joystick and armrest for me to be able to reach the joystick. So a normal joystick does not work for me. They have to sort of move it back closer to where I can reach it. With COVID-19, there was a lot of delays with materials and parts and shipping. So it took about 6.5 months from beginning to end until I got the new chair.
You mentioned taking into consideration COVID-19 and, obviously we can utilize telehealth in that way, but there are certain things where you do need to have those parts delivered to you and to have them set up. The technicians are a really great part of getting medical devices for if you have a disability. And, they're able to just kind of troubleshoot and work with you and to make sure that fits you perfectly to your needs.
You just sort of have to be a self-advocate on some of these things too,
Right.
And just stay on top of folks.
You are your biggest advocate and you have to be able to use those resources to your advantage.
The one thing I would, especially when you're talking about DME and medical equipment and devices, is recognize that lots of times there are going to be delays with getting these things approved. And
Right.
if you know you're going to need something, trying to start that process earlier rather than later. If there's something that you're going to need that's customized, include that in your calculations as you're trying to figure out maybe how long it will take. DME can be very expensive. It's not the cheapest thing in the world. And I knew I was going to have a larger copay with something like a power wheelchair. So one of the things that we had done this year, a flex spending account. So we were able to put more money into the flex spend account this year. So we were able to cover those costs and get the tax benefits for that, and then not have to worry about how we were going to pay that big copay when it came in too. So thank you very much for interviewing me, Nuria. It's obviously an important topic that I think we want to make sure that people with disabilities are aware of and understand exactly how it is that they can fully get what they can out of their health insurance plan.
It was really great to interview you. Thank you for having me.